Right, now to go with the 39 Guard Motostrelk Division, or Guard Division. It's a little kit we can get in this. I think it's very similar to the 79th. If you've watched the last video, I pretty much run off most of these Soviet units. We're creating new decks and look at specifically the units. This is the 39th. Select this one. Okay. So we've gone over these units already. So the MTL, LB Snab. We'll have a look at all the new units we got. I actually use this deck a lot more. I think this is a new one actually. BMP 1K3. No, it's not. Incorrect. But we've gone through all these units here. So, oh, there's a new one. BTR. Here we go. BTR 60 PBK. This gives you another vehicle to select the Commando. It's not a bad vehicle. I like to go for, personally, just RKHM and infantry and tank. Or even just literally that and my tank as my CV vehicles, because I look after my CV. I take that quite a high priority to look after them. And I have quite a lot of them as well purchased, as you'll see. Like a red deck soon. But that's a new vehicle. MI9, is that a new one? Is that a new aircraft? Helicopter? I think you got the MI9 as well in the 79th. Not too sure. Right, here we go. Some more units here. Infantry units in the infantry tab itself. So what we got? We got the Otelani Podolski. I don't know how to pronounce that. Otelani Podolski. I'm gonna go with that. Not even a bad anti-tank rocket layer. Ground target 850 meters. Not bad. I can actually help out and assist engaging targets at kind of long range. Right, they're not even CV. What am I thinking? I'm thinking this is a command unit, infantry, but they're not. That explains why they got that. Rate of fire, I thought it was 80%, 87% accuracy, 7% on standard. That's really good. Penetration 81. That's really good bit of kit. I might use these guys. I've not got these in my deck. I might need them. That's good. For their price for them as well, it's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Alright, next, I might actually, because I've got a faggot right now. Faggot. These are good more for like defending towns instead of gaze long distance. More of like waiting for a unit to push on them and engage them. So we've got now the faggot and the concourse. ATGM, we've gone over these already before. 2450. The concourse is a little bit better range and better penetration. Not a large selection, but a few selection of vehicles that we utilised. But out of these two, I'll go for the concourse just because it's 15 points more, but you get better penetration and better range. A lot better penetration as well. So when it does hit, it's a lot worthwhile. 60% on actually there as well. UAZ Force 6-9 SPG-9. It's a tank SPG-9 75mm times 15. Not bad penetration. It's not the greatest. It's probably sort of last ditch resort at defense position to take out advancing infantry fighting vehicles and stuff like that. If you had multiple of these, you could probably hit tanks and knock them out. But high explosive and suppression rate and the penetration is pretty poor. In my case, in this scenario, I'd probably use these alongside infantry and tree blocks, or in a rear defense position, or just on streets or roads covering them like a choke point. So if units move into a point, these are going to immediately see them. But if this gets on a one-on-one with a tank or anything like that, it's obviously going to get annihilated. But you want multiple of these in a position where a vehicle's unsuspecting it, that it can fire at rounds first. So this situated with some recon infantry, you're laughing. Probably the best way to deploy that, really. The grenade launcher, Desnat UAZ 3151, which is standard. You know, grenade launched of it. We spoke about this in the last one. How I'd use this, assist infantry in the ground. And the good thing about it has good range, actually. Like we said before, infantry will take quite a while. Anything that can take this out is ATGM at distance, infantry-wise. So if you're going against infantry, this is pretty good. You can get a few of these, move them around, annihilate infantry, as you can see. Suppression's not bad as well. Motostrelk Command. Now we're in the 39th Guard Division. We're getting more options, more vehicles. We're getting the BMP-3. This is going to be one of the best infantry fighting vehicles in the game. Like, I would, hands down, if I had an option to have this in any other deck, in the NATO deck, whatever, this bit of kit, I just love it. Like, over the Bradley, over anything. This is awesome. Primarily because it's got an autocannon, a tank gun, and an air-to-ground missile launcher. I don't even know where the air-to-ground missile launcher is on this thing, because that is a log on the side, I'm sure. Not a clue how they're firing that missile launcher, but they need to have it equipped on here or something of some sort. But you got an anti-tank gun, or a tank gun, sorry, not anti-tank, but you got a tank gun. Suppression's 73, not the best. High explosive, not the best either, but What it does is it's got a good high rate of fire, 10 rounds per minute, so you find good rounds at the target. Also an auto cannon here with penetration of 3. So all 3 weapons combined, these guys can take out tanks. You put these in a squad of 3 of them, you're laughing. You know, you've got front armor 5, side 3. They're quick. They can carry units around. One of the best infantry fighting vehicles in the game. Like all my infantry, I try and aim to have a BMP-3. Only thing is it's quite expensive, so you've got to bear that in mind. So I'd like to have them for my Motostrelki to use. I get 3 or 4 of these with Motostrelki, get them in a good position, unload the Motostrelki, get these BMP-3s in the line, push the Motostrelki forward to assault position, the support of the BMP-3, you're laughing. Phenomenal bit of kit. One of the best BMPs. Oh, it is the latest version, so it makes sense why it's so good. But I love it. If you get a chance to use this thing, use it. It is definitely up there. And it can change a battle quite quickly, quite swiftly. So that's the newest thing, really, in regards to infantry fighting vehicles in the 39th Guard Division. We've got some more sappers here, which we've gone through them as well. Or sapperies. It's the same again. Napalm. The saps charges there as well. And Motostrelki. Cool. With more options of BMP-3, as you can see there. So, as you see, if you put the price up, literally 115 points there. Really good Motostrelki. Put this up. Already, here they are. Select the BMP-3. 100 points. So, these guys are probably the best guys to get, actually. Might actually get some of these as well. Might have to adjust my deck that I have. I can't have the Motostrelki as this, but I might look to get these guys. Those are really good. Okay, artillery. What is new here? There's nothing new at all. Oh, actually, no. Cancel that. Got 152mm howitzer instead of 122. Nice. Let's compare that to the last one, to the 122. So we got longer range, got an extra 3,000 meters, which means you can get further out of the battlefield, which is really good. The thing is, you can't use it as a tank gun, but it kind of makes sense because it's a much larger millimeter barrel. More high explosive. Look at the size of that. 4.19 high explosive. Nice. Suppression's up by 40. Rate of fire is 6 on the old one. New one's 4, which makes sense. A little bit lower. Supply costs a little bit more, but that's good. We've got another choice there of artillery. But like I said, I prefer to use the self-propelled artillery pieces anyway. Alright. Tanks. What we got here? What new vehicles? We have quite a few ones actually. Got a T-62 MK. Nice. Okay. Not a bad bit of kit. Got the option to have a ground-to-ground missile. Front armor's crap, quite frankly. But it's a command vehicle, so it's got 2,800. That's really good. For the price you're looking at, the tank, the gun, heavy machine gun, that's not even a bad all-rounder. That's actually really good. From around the tank, that's pretty good. If you're not getting hit hard by like a really expensive tank or high penetration, you use that well and you micromanage this fucker, it could be pretty lethal. Pretty lethal. T-62 MI. I think we've looked at this one previously in the last one. Got the heavy machine gun, medium gun. T-62M. These are just more expensive versions of the T-62 as we're going up. This one's got, once again, 2,800, which is good for the points there. 90 points there for that tank. Pretty good, actually. A pretty good price. For an all-round there that you don't have to lose as a command vehicle. It's a pretty good price. Let's just compare this. You're looking at almost half the price for the same stats and the weapon systems. Actually better stats than the T-62M. You're paying 80 points just for the command vehicle tank version. Really good. Really nice tank actually. Next, T-62MB. Once again, more armor. It's pretty much the best version of the T-62. Good stats there. 100-point tank. Really good actually. Not bad at all. And then considering you got the combination of these more heavier tanks coming up as well. Alright, what we got? We got the BRDM2 Concours. We've seen that one before in the last one. Got good speed. Not the best. Standard penetration for an HGM vehicle. We've got a new one with MTLB Sturm, which isn't as good, but it's got better range. So that actually gives you more options and not buying a tank. You can specify specifically just for a HGM long range vehicle. It's cool. 2,800 meters, 63% accuracy. Really good actually. Rate of fire is 14, which is not as good as the BRDM. BRDM is quite quick. Rate of fire is 33. 6 seconds you're going to get at. So you're firing around. It says aims in 1 second, reloads in 5. So you're looking at every 6 seconds getting a round off. That makes sense. Why I say rate 33 rate of fire? Interesting. Nice. I like that. Out of these two, I'll definitely pick the Sturm, this one here, just because of the fact of that actually there and the range. It's nice. It's got 12 rockets compared to 10. Next, we've gone through these tanks as well, the T-80 BK, whereas these two here on the left-hand side have heavy machine guns and medium machine guns, whereas the T-80B has a ground-to-ground missile with a heavy machine gun. Like I said before in the other video, how I utilise these tanks, I normally use the T-80B and T-80BV. Normally the T-80BV, just because that front armour jumps up massively, you can see by 3 points, which makes the big difference actually. I use that to defend tree lines and you know, get the battlefield set up in a defensive manner, and they're good to utilise in all scenarios, also against infantry, and also defend against vehicles moving out, and then eventually come through with a T-80BVK or higher command vehicle tank. So yeah, it's nice. Cool, tank's done. Recon, we've got a new Recon yet. We do, we have the Grenzer. Why have I got the option to get a Eastern Germany unit, which is interesting? I literally wear like police uniforms, that's crazy. Why have I got an option in this deck? I'm not explaining too much, but it's cool. A bit random. The Recon's not bad, very good, sorry. Stealth's exceptional though. Somehow in those uniforms, they've got a exceptional uniform, got a little camera there. Good to go. I guess they blend in as civvies, I guess, in the towns. That's probably why their stealth is exceptional. Which is rather hilarious. Weapon system's not the greatest, but I guess it's good against infantry. Just your standard Recon unit, really. Quite cheap as well, so that's the benefit to them. But these are the ones you want. You want ones with good stealth and at least an anti-tank rocket that you can take out a CV vehicle, which is part of your Recon's role, is to sort of neutralise, you know, set up ambush points, stuff like that. At least be able to take out vehicles that are going to move on to them. You've got the option of UAZs them. And then you've got the Motostrelki Razvedka going for these guys as well. Both got the BMP-1P, which is what I'd probably equip them with most commonly. A bit more expensive, you can see 100 points, but good, you got both a Recon vehicle and a Recon infantry. Nice. AA, anything new here? We do have a BRDM Streller actually. Got the Igla, cheap, easy, get in the battlefield quickly, set up all around the map. You know, you get the gist of the Iglas. Put in more depth in the last video. Surface to air missile, BRDM Streller 1, high explosive. Gonna be quick to get around, cheap, supply costs as well. Just one of those get ones. These sort of vehicles you get out in the battlefield quick, or put in areas where you just want to fill gaps. Where areas in which you know you're defending. So like, say a sector itself, and you've got a lot of defense in an area. You're gonna want your bigger vehicles such as Streller 1, 10M, and the KUB-M3, sort of defending. Maybe if you're thinking it, well, it's supposed to be a Tunguska, but it's actually a ZSU-23 M4. Wait, 4M3. Bayusa. What am I actually compared to Tunguska? It looks more like. It does look very similar to a Tunguska. A little bit. I think the Tunguska's on the guns on the outside, isn't it? Yeah. And Tunguska has a missile, doesn't it? A manual guided missile, whereas this only has a gun on the side, or gun in the middle, sorry. Oh, that's pretty cool though. Is it radar guided? Yeah, it is. That's the only problem with this gun. 105 points. But not bad. Not bad helicopter range. Aircraft range not too bad either. Axe is good. Rate of fire is obviously phenomenal as it is. An air defense gun. Nice. Giving it options there to have that. So, that's pretty good. Right, helicopter. Next, we've got a bit more selection here as well compared to the 79th Division. MIMT Rocket 1, 2, and 3. We didn't see the second one, the last one. So what's that in comparison to number 1? It's an extra 5 points. Alright, the only difference is you get 64 rounds to the 32, so you double the amount of rockets for 5 more points. You're laughing. You gotta go for it. If you wouldn't, you're silly. As long as you've only got enough supply, that makes no sense not to get that. Out of these two here, make sure you pick the Rocket 2 without the Rocket 1. Go for that. And if you want something, don't want something that expensive, another 25 points, go for the Rocket 3. But out of these two, go for the Rocket 2. That's a no-brainer. You get 3 rocket pods with 64 rockets. That's going to stay in the air for a little while, engaging targets. That would be absolutely ruthless against infantry. You could probably take out multiple units of that thing. Good recon. I got Mi-24V rocket as well. I don't think we had this in the last one. Yeah, I think the last one just had 18 AA. This one just comes with a rocket pods, 2,800 meter range, air to ground, and a Gatling gun. Nice. Lastly, we've got the aircraft. Same again from the last, same as the 79th, but the SU-25 rocket, 80 cluster and napalm, giving you options. But I like these SU-25s, they give you the air-to-air missile, which is nice actually. So you both can, only thing is they're slow, but the axe is good and they're a bit stronger in armour. MiG-23 AA, I think it's a little bit different from the last one. MLD AA, good range, good long air-to-air missile and short range air-to-air missile as well. Good axe as well, not bad. Not the craziest price as well, so quite an all-rounder actually, pretty good all-rounder. SU-25s, napalm, cluster and high explosive. Spoke about this in the last episode as well, about how we use them. These nice bit of aircraft, actually really gorgeous. Mach 1, normal bit of kit. Pretty sure these aircraft really useful. I like to use them a lot. SU-24 M4 high explosive. What have we got here? Gatling gun, looks terrible. What is that? But I guess it's good. Can defend itself. Both air-to-air missiles. So that's got like an all-rounder. It's quite expensive as well, so agility is exceptional, which is good compared to these ones that are only good. But obviously your payload is not as big as per se your SU-24's payload, but you get the option to defend itself. So depends how you like to play. You know, you could get a few of these, 3 of them, send them out, bomb. It's quite a good option actually. So they can, you know, go out, engage the targets, and also defend itself, because these can't. Sometimes I send these guys out and they get taken out by an AA fighter that they've sent out in response. There's nothing they can do in that scenario, where this may have a potential to get out there alive. So, which makes it a good aircraft and a good choice to have. And the MiG-23 MF, high explosive, so it's just pretty much the same as SU-24, similar to it more or less. I mean, it's a MiG, and it has I'm just trying to compare the pricing actually. So we'll go for a high explosive one. So it gives you the Gatling gun, so you get an extra 10 points for a Gatling gun, and you're losing 2 extra bombs out of it. I don't know really what I'd rather choose out of those two, because the 2 extra bombs give it that extra. It's not even giving it extra suppression. Actually, is more on the SU-24. Out of those two, I'd probably go for the MiG-23 actually. Like a second 2 bombs, this is going to make a massive difference. But you can have an option to defend itself. But then again, how well is it going to defend itself with a Gatling gun? Is it really worth it? Probably not. So I'll probably stick with the SU-24. An SU-27S AA. Look at that. Now that is a good bit of kit. Probably seen this quite often online. Ukraine right now and Russian Air Force. This is a really good bit of kit. Still use this now. Obviously a newer version. Really nice aircraft. Really gorgeous looking. Let's look at the stats. So we got the long range air-to-air missile there on the right, the SR-27R, and then you got the close air-to-air missile, the R-73, which is infrared, and the other one's SAR. What's the difference in these two? Semi-active radar. This one's fire and forget. Infrared. Cool. And you got a Gatling gun. Exceptional optics. ECM. Agility is very good. Not the best. Not exceptional, but it's good. Nice. There's some good vehicles and units in the 39th. Let's just leave that quick and go back to the 39th. Not a crazy amount of difference compared to the 79th, but the only difference that I like in this deck is the BMP3. Like, it is phenomenal. Like, the infantry capability in this deck with the BMP3, I love it. Like, I've changed my playing style using the BMP3 and going from other units to using that in ranked games. It makes a big difference. Definitely give it a go. This deck, if you're going to get this deck, I would recommend getting a BMP3 and see how that goes. Alright, next episode we're going to go across the Vedever. So this is the airborne Russian division. So as you can see here, we'll go out in the next video. Hope you like this one. So hope you enjoyed looking at some of the units, and it's getting quite interesting actually. Hopefully we see some more aircraft and some more airborne helicopters and stuff like that next one. So we'll see what the airborne division has for us. Alright, see you next episode guys.